Well, right down the road from us is a really wonderful resource, a recreational resource, a place to hike around, maybe take your paints down there and do a wonderful painting, and that is, of course, Laguna Canyon, which extends quite a length, actually, down there off Laguna Canyon Road. And we have two folks here today. One is with the Friends of Laguna Canyon Club right here in the village, Andy Smeal. Nice to have you.
Thank you for having us.
And Hallie is here with us today, Hallie Jones. She's the Executive Director of Laguna Canyon Foundation. Great to have you here. And as I said, it's a great resource. A lot of people forget that it's right there.
Absolutely.
And to have the club here is wonderful. Andy, when did this club form and why did it form?
The club was formed by about 10 years ago. I've taken it over about 2 years ago. It's a free club, and it's a little different than a lot of the clubs here. Our whole purpose is just really sort of an outreach to Laguna Woods and let them know that this wilderness area is right outside their front door, where it is, all the various kinds of programs that are there. Because if you've lived in Laguna Woods, you've driven down to Laguna Beach. Yeah. And it's beautiful. And one of the first things you notice, which makes it very, very unique, is driving through that Laguna Canyon. It's beautiful. And what people don't know is that about 20 years ago, that was sort of threatened to be a major housing development on the upper ends. And that was all saved and is managed now by Hallie's organization, Laguna Canyon Foundation. But that being what it is there. And there's over 70 miles of hiking trails. There's meadows, there's hills, there's mountains, there's lakes, and it's all 10 minutes right from where we sit right here.
Yeah.
So what we try to do as a club is, number one, let people know it's there and how to access it. And also Laguna Canyon Foundation, in conjunction with OC Parks, runs an ongoing monthly activities. Every month there must be 20 different activities, all free to the public, that involve hikes, camera clubs, fauna and flora, going out bird watching, all different levels of activity. And so what we also do as a club is get that information out. And every week in the Globe we have a Friends of Laguna Canyon, where I list 3 or 4 of the activities that are coming up the next week. And so we're just trying to get people out. They understand you got an ocean by, you got golf, you got tennis. It's a fabulous place to live. But one of the biggest benefits that a lot of people don't know about is this fantastic 20,000 plus acre coastal wilderness paradise that's out there.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. And Hallie, you were telling me you've been the executive director there for about a year, and I had commented before we came on, we remember Mary Fagris, who was the director there, and tell me she's still active.
Absolutely. Once people really get their heart and soul into preserving something as special as the canyon, they never leave. They stick around for a long time. Yeah.
One of the benefits down there that if people maybe don't want to go on long hikes, you have the Knicks Nature Center. Tell me about that.
Absolutely. The Knicks Nature Center is a great entry into the wilderness, a great entry into the open space for people who maybe aren't up for a strenuous hike. It talks a little bit about the history of the land in terms of the Native Americans who once lived there, the animals and plants that call this area home. It's a wonderful place for kids to visit if you have people in from out of town. It's a great place to bring visitors. And it's one of my favorite spots in the wilderness. There's actually 2 Adirondack chairs perfectly placed on a deck where you can just sit and watch the hills, watch the birds, and breathe that sage-scented air and appreciate what we have.
The artists in our community here, we all know that that is one of the most prime spots for people to do what's called plein air painting. They actually take their paints out, and I think in many ways it's what inspired the whole artist community down in Laguna Beach, decades ago, because it's so picturesque. It's absolutely beautiful going there different times of the year. And do you have events down there for artists where they can come together paint together and things like that at certain times of the year?
We certainly, support the plein air associations in Laguna Beach and their efforts. Anytime you drive through the canyon, you see
Yeah,
groups of
you do.
people out there painting, and it's one of the reasons that it has been so easy to preserve. The cliffs of Big Bend have been painted by plein air painters for hundreds of years, so people really have an emotional attachment to this open space, and we encourage anyone to get out there. Even sit at the Knicks Center and look up at the hillsides and paint them. Absolutely, it's a wonderful thing to do.
Yeah, you have a lot of different programs there, and and obviously in this community you may have people that are a little bit, they might be disabled, they can't get around really great, might be in a wheelchair or a power scooter or something. Is there something for them down there?
Absolutely, it's a question we get very frequently. People think, oh well, they're hiking trails. I'm not up for a 6-mile, 2,000-foot elevation gain hike. But we do have trails that are easier loop trails that are definitely more accessible for people of different abilities. At the Knicks Center, there's a trail called Mary's Trail, actually named after Mary Fagras, and that's a beautiful little loop that's relatively gentle and accessible for just about anybody.
Yeah, that is a nice little trail that
It's
somebody can
beautiful.
go on. The different programs that you have down there, do people have to sign up for them to go online, or some of them where they're just dates, we're having this event going on, just come on down?
We always ask people to sign up just so we have an idea of how
Okay.
many people are going to be there. So you can sign up on our website, which is lagunacanyon.org. For people who maybe aren't as interested in being online, you're always welcome to call us as well, and we can go ahead and sign you up.
Okay, Andy, great trails down there. Are there, have you found, obviously you've been down there many, many times, are the trailheads well marked? Are there areas you can sort of check in and pick up maps and things like that?
Absolutely, that's the beauty of it. It's very expansive trails. The Knicks Center, which Hallie had mentioned, which is just on the Laguna Canyon Road, just above the tollway. And that's signed off of the 133.
Right,
It's
yes.
a beautiful building.
Yeah, it is.
And what makes that unique is that the monies for that were donated by Jim and Rosemary Nix, residents of Laguna Woods, and made that happen. At that trailhead and also at the Willow trailhead is where El Toro Road comes into Laguna Canyon Road. Just south, a couple of 100 yards on the right-hand side, is another trailhead. On weekends, there are docents there, OC park rangers, trail maps, and all the trails are very, very well marked. And so, yeah, you just want people to come out and use it. For like Laguna Canyon Woods residents, we've had, I've got a lot of friends, well, we just don't hike, we don't do that. Well, that might be the case, but you might have your kids coming down
Right.
on weekends. You got grandkids that are full of energy. Where do we go? What do we do? And this stuff is really around the corner, and they can just go knock themselves out in these beautiful, beautiful areas. There's some long trails, if you're very ambitious, that can take it from some of those trailheads up and over and all the way into Crystal Cove. So that's ambitious.
Yeah,
but
it
but
is.
it's spectacular. And when you get high, you can have beautiful vistas of the ocean.
Yeah,
and
I've been up there. It's absolutely beautiful.
So,
Hallie, people might have a concern. We hear about the different wildlife that are out there. What are some of the precautions that they should take? Obviously, there's coyotes in the area, and other wildlife as well that we often hear about that may be coming into the area.
Absolutely.
So, what type of precautions? When are the good times to hike when it's a little less likely you're going to come across something?
Well, I would say the animals that we have in our open space are definitely more frightened of us than we are of them. We do have bobcat, we have coyote, we have deer. Any of those you're very likely to see out on the trail, and none of them are going to pose any threat to you. We
Okay.
also have rattlesnakes, which of course can bite. Certainly, I've never actually heard of anyone being bitten by a rattlesnake in these parks, so it's not a huge fear. If you do encounter a snake on the trail, back up slowly and give it a chance to get away, and that's exactly what it's going to do. It doesn't want to interfere with you as well. We don't have mountain lions in these parks right now.
Okay.
The last mountain lion confirmed sighting was in about 2000. I
Okay.
grew up in Laguna Canyon, and that mountain lion hung out in my neighborhood when I was a kid. Now, because of the development and difficulty crossing freeways and stuff, we don't have any confirmed lions in the area. It's
Okay.
certainly possible, but it's not something to be concerned about.
All right. I want to give, it's very easy to remember, the website is lagunacanyon.org, and go on there, you can get all kinds of information, but also, if you would like to join Friends of Laguna Canyon Club, you can email Andy, Andy Smeal at AOL.com. Obviously, if people go on our main website,
That's right. We're listed
that's the best place to go. If you can go online, go to
That's
Laguna
right.
Woods Village website, go to the clubs, and you'll navigate down, and then you get all the information there.
Absolutely.
Do you have regular club meetings?
No, we don't. What we try to do is really be a broadcast center for all the various things that are going on. I wanted to mention just 3 things that are coming up next week. And this is an ongoing type of thing. But on Friday, September 26th, to show you the different levels of it, we have a meditating in nature experience.
Nice.
Doesn't require a lot of effort. The whole idea is just basically to go into the woods, very quiet place, to absorb everything that you're seeing, and just really have a very wonderful, quiet experience.
Yeah.
On Saturday, on September 27th, we have a moderate 3-mile hike. And all these hikes and all these events are all led by OC park rangers, naturalists, experts in the area. And it's all free. It's just an amazing opportunity that you just need to take advantage of. And on Sunday, September 28th, there's a birding walk. And there's a lot of people here that are bird watchers and this type of thing. And it's a wonderful, and that's going to be conducted by a naturalist that is an expert in birding. So those types of programs are the things that we try to broadcast in the globe. And then if people want to have a monthly update on everything that's going, that's where coming on my email, and I will send out monthly updates of all the things that are going on so they can plan a little bit ahead.
All right.
So go out there and enjoy nature. That's the program.
That's the key. Thank you both for coming on. Again, this is an absolutely wonderful resource that people forget about. In fact, throughout Orange County, we forget that we have these resources here.
Absolutely.
And discover them. And often they are free.
Yes.
Maybe there's a little donation box there or something like that, these resources. But in general, they are very affordable and a lot of fun for the entire family.
Absolutely.
Thank you both.
Thank you very much for having us.
on.
It's wonderful. Very good.
We'll be back. Yeah, we were just done.